Something got activated in me today. Something very strange. I'm working on sewing. I bought this top and it just needs a little bit of taking in on it, so that's what I'm doing right now. So I was just sitting here thinking about the fact that something got activated in me today. Something not good, I would say. A lie. A lie. My inner child was feeling like that she can't have what she wants, that she's not worthy, that she's not allowed, that she's not allowed. She doesn't get to stay here because she likes it here. And she's scared because she likes it here. And she's scared that she's not going to get to stay. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why she thinks she's not going to get to stay. I think perhaps it could be a past life memory, because I can't really think of a time in this life where I lived somewhere and I wanted to stay and I didn't get to stay. But in this lifetime, I have lived in places that I didn't really care about. Like, I never thought about where I wanted to live. I always said that, that I just lived in the places where my family was. And I never thought about, that there would be a certain place that I would want to live. I just thought that I had to live where I lived. Not that it was really a choice. And when I went to Hawaii, that was a choice about where I wanted to live. But there was also this thing of like actually not having a choice. Of like living in my car, which at first seemed like a choice, and then sort of became something that I felt trapped in, that I didn't know how to change when I didn't want to live in it anymore. And I thought I just had to do it. And so it's almost like I had this belief that I could only live in a place that beautiful if I was like making a sacrifice, if I was like only asking for so much. Like, I'm only allowed to ask for so much. I'm not allowed to ask for more. I'm not allowed to ask for everything I want. I'm only allowed to ask for a little bit. And so if I'm already living in a beautiful place, then I'm not allowed to ask, to have like a big home there or something. I'm only allowed to ask for like something that doesn't cost very much. And I see how I have these invisible walls inside myself that say, you only get this much and no more. I received my inheritance from my mother, but I often feel like I can't spend it, like it's not okay to spend it. It's not okay to spend money. I feel happy when I'm not spending money. But then I don't allow myself to want things that cost money. And if there is something that costs money and I want it, then I don't necessarily let myself have it. I just am aware of just how I have these limits of what I'm allowed to want or have, and it's only so much, and I can't have more than that. It's like I allow myself certain things that don't cost too much, and just only allowed so much. Where did this come from? Who thinks this? It's certainly something that has operated in my life unconsciously for a very long time. I know that I had a vow of poverty in past lives or whatever, and I'm not allowed to be too joyful or too happy or to have too much. And I was so critical of my parents and the amount of money they had, and I kind of vowed to never live like they lived. That was too much. So I can see that this is very big today. I was having a hard time today. I was feeling really sad and scared. I was disappointed, and then I was afraid, and I was crying even, feeling so afraid that I wasn't going to get to stay here, that things weren't going to work out. And it was completely irrational. It was like that there's nothing in my outward life that's telling me this. There's nothing outwardly telling me that I can't stay here. And yet, my inner child is afraid of that, is afraid that she's not going to get to stay here. And I've met some people here and told them that I'm moving here. And they say, oh, are you renting or buying a house? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm staying in an Airbnb for a month, but I want to stay here. I want to stay here. But some part of me before I came kept saying, well, if it doesn't work out, I have my house back in Albuquerque, but you know what? I don't want to go back to my house in Albuquerque. That's not where I want to be. I don't want to be in my house in Albuquerque. I don't have a life there. So why am I saying, I haven't felt led to get rid of that house, and that's fine. But why am I saying that I need that as a backup when that's not what I want to do? That's silly. I mean, it's fine to have it there, if I want to go stay and go visit my family there briefly or whatever, that's fine, but not to think that that's some place that I would need to go back to live. That's not what I want. I want to be here, and some part of me is afraid of committing to that, of saying that's what I really want. Some part of me is afraid of saying what I really want because she thinks that she's not going to get it. Even though there's no reason not to think that we can have this. But it's like there's this glass ceiling, this limit to what we can have in life. And this is past it. This is past that limit. It's too expensive here. We can't afford to live here. Hawaii was expensive too. But really grappling with this. Really grappling with this today. So I just watched this video that I made back. And as I was watching it, I was reminded of my grandmother, and she was in my mind today. I actually channeled the grandmothers and grandfathers in the Red Rock formations here this morning. I didn't know I was going to do that, but they were the ones who came through the Red Rocks as grandmothers and grandfathers. But when I shared that with a friend, she mentioned that grandmothers are nice to be there to calm our fears. And I was thinking of my own grandmother, who wasn't there very much for me to calm my fears. She lived far away, and I didn't see her very much. And I was thinking about her recently. She's the only grandparent I really had. Her husband, my granddaddy, died when I was about 2 years old, and I didn't have any grandparents from either my biological father or my stepfather. So as I was watching this, I was reminded of my grandmother when I was talking about those ideas about having too much, and that seems like such a common thing, that way of thinking. That would have been the way that she thought, and those of her generation. And in fact, I think she had certain judgments about my parents because they didn't live that way. So I'm just being reminded of these family lineage things that are there that I'm carrying from my family, that I'm healing and turning back as blessings toward the generations that came before me. And so I just feel aware that today I am choosing to heal something that has come to me through my family lineage. And it's not going to stay that way. I'm not going to live that way anymore because it's not in alignment with my joy and with what I know I'm meant to have and be and do in my life. So I just want to share that, and this process is ongoing today. I will continue to explore it with my inner child and see what decisions I need to make, what declarations I need to make, what affirmations I need to make about this to change this pattern in my life. But I am aware today that I am changing this pattern. Thank you for listening.